Okay, guys, good morning. Welcome to the first recording of this course, Conceptual Framework and Accounting Standards. And so if you will notice, no, I have the PDF copy of our book. Well, this is actually not the latest. It is the 2020 version. I just get it from a resourceful student. I can share it to you. Usapan natin sa group chat. So in the meantime, uh, in this video, I will be discussing the chapter 1 of our book, no? The Conceptual Framework and Accounting Standards by Sir Sus Vernon B. Milan. Okay. Ayan. So, almost the same lang ito class ng book ninyo. No? Just almost the same. I just used this PDF so I could have a display material for you to see other than just me discussing discussing the topic without display material. Kaya naman gagawa pa ako, which would took me quite some time to do it. So yeah, okay. So wag na nating patagalin na, i-discuss natin. Okay, since this is my first video, konting mga notes muna, no? I'm not going to discuss all of the words, all of the content of each pages. But I will just be highlighting uh, topics or phrases that has to be discussed thoroughly. Pero some of the content is I will be leaving for your reading. Okay. So I already read the chapter. So may mga notes na rin ako. So ayan, so please sana ay mapanood niyo. Sana ay panoorin niyo itong video. So it could help you understand more the topic. Okay. All right. Let's proceed. First topic to discuss is the overview of accounting. Ayan. Second semester na ngayon. Most likely, most of the terms here in this course is familiar na sa inyo. And even so, yung mga topics na discuss na rin ng last semester. No? So, kaya hindi ito magiging mahirap sa inyo, as I always say. Okay, so we have 4 learning objectives for this chapter, for this topic. First is to define accounting and state its basic purpose. Second is to explain the basic concepts applied in accounting. 3 states the branches of accounting and the sectors in the practice of accountancy. And the fourth objective, explain the importance of a uniform set of financial reporting standards. Okay. So in this video, I will try to discuss the first 2 learning objectives kung kaya pa ng oras. Kasi as much as possible, ang gusto ko sa anong discussion is lang siya, chunk. Kumbaga, konti-konti lang para per video, meron tayong specific topics na naka-highlight. So, I have read this already, and for sure, it would take me some time to discuss this. Kaya, feeling ko, first 2 objectives lang yung may hit natin dito sa video na to. Okay. Definition of accounting. Okay. So, there are so many definitions of accounting from the different authors also, and then from different institutions. But for this one, we're going to define accounting based on American Association of Accountants. Okay. So in here, it defines accounting as the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgments and decisions by users of the information. Ayan, so medyo mahaba, pero unawain natin yung mga words. In particular, itong tatlong ito, itong 3 important activities, the identifying, measuring, and communicating. Ayan, so dyan tayo magpo-focus. Kasi ito daw yung proseso ng identifying, measuring, and communicating the economic information. For what? For the users to have so they could make their decision wisely. Okay. Right? So, unahin natin yung identifying. Okay, it is defined as the process of analyzing events and transactions to determine whether or not they will be recognized. Ayan. So, class, pakitake note ng word na recognize. Ano? Ayan. Recognize. So, ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag sinabi natin recognize is, ito na yung ano, this is the part of the process in which the transaction is being recorded or it is being journalized. Yun yung term natin. Ano? So, identifying. Okay. So, in Tagalog, edi inaalam natin or ina-analyze yung mga events or yung mga transactions kung sila ba ay i-record sa journal. Okay? So, paki-take note na lang yung recognize, pwede nyo siyang lagyan dyan ng note na journalize. Okay? Ayan. Since yung recognize is inaano natin, na-highlight natin, so it has a definition which says that it refers to the process of including the effects of an accountable event in the statement of financial position or the statement of comprehensive income to a journal entry. Ayan. So in this definition, again, so ina-highlight nyo na when we say recognize or recognition, ibig sabihin, gina-journalize natin. Nare-record natin sa journal entry yung events and transactions. Okay? So, diretso natin dito. Ayan. Ang sabi dito, only accountable events are recognized. No. Ayan. Ibig sabihin, hindi lahat ng events nare-record natin. Of course, no? Only those accountable events. Ano naman yung accountable events? So, an event is accountable if it affects the assets, liabilities, equity, income, or expenses of an entity. So, yan. You will notice itong assets hanggang expenses, ito yung tinatawag natin mga general accounts. No? Sila yung mga main accounts natin. Assets to expenses, general. Kasi in each general account, ano yan, may mga specific accounts tayong tinutukoy. For example, sa assets, we have cash, receivables, inventory, di ba? Then sa liabilities, we have accounts payable, loans payable, bonds payable, yan. So I guess you know what I mean. You know? Kaya sila tinatawag na general accounts. Okay? Other term for accountable events ay economic activity. It is the subject matter of accounting. Okay? Diretso natin. Only economic activities are emphasized and recognized in accounting. Sociological and psychological matters are not recognized. So i-clear natin yan. We just focus on economic activities. So sa economic activities, normally ito yung mga transactions na may involved na pera. Ano? Siyempre, yung mga sociological and psychological, hindi na natin masyadong, hindi na yan scope ng accounting. Kaya nga, di ba, lagi common na maririnig nyo, when we say accounting, it's more on numbers. Okay? Ayan. So, non-accountable events are not recognized, but disclosed only in the notes if they have an accounting relevance. Ayan. So, yung mga transactions or events na hindi natin kina-consider as accountable for economic events, so we call them non-accountable events. Of course, they're not recognized. Hindi sila nare-record sa journal. Pero, if those events have an accounting relevance, ibig sabihin, mapapakinabangan natin siya in the future or mapapakinabangan natin siya sa paggawa ng FS, they can be disclosed in the notes to financial statements. So, anong ibig sabihin ng disclose? They can be disclosed. Ibig sabihin, instead of just rejecting those transactions or instead of just not recognizing those transactions, pwede mo siyang ilagay sa notes. Pwede mo siya isulat sa notes. Kasi nga, it might have an accounting relevance. Okay? Right? Ayan. So, beside natin, disclosure only in the notes is not an application of the recognition process. Ayan. So, hindi porket nilagay mo siya sa notes, part na siya ng recognition process. Hindi. Okay? Okay, so you might be wondering yung notes, no? Nababanggit siya ng ulit-ulit. Yung notes na tinutukoy class, this is the notes to financial statements, which is part of the complete set of financial statements. Okay? Right? Ito, an unaccountable event that has an accounting relevance may be recorded through a memorandum entry. Ayan. Yun. So, dalawa, ano? Yung mga accountable events, dalawa ang pwede mong gawin. Pwede mo siyang memorandum entry, tapos, i-disclose mo pa siya sa notes. Okay. Guys, pakitake note ng ano dito, ng word na maybe. Ibig sabihin, pwede. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. We go to types of events or transactions. So, medyo mahaba-haba ito yung explanation, pero I'm not gonna focus on those. Doon lang tayo mag-focus sa types of events or transactions. So, basically, there are only two types of events or transactions. It could be external events or internal events. And when we say external, sa labas, ano? So, ibig sabihin, external events involve the entity itself, of course, yung business itself, and another external party. Okay? So, yun lang. Kaya nga external, ibig sabihin, business entity has transactions with another entity outside of the business. Kaya external siya. So may mga types of external events. I'm gonna leave this for your reading. Sana. So i-highlight na lang natin dyan. Tignan nyo na. Tignan nyo itong mga example ng mga external events. Sale, purchase, payment of liabilities. So example sa sale. So if the entity has a sale transaction, di ba? So it involves the entity selling their product and another outsider entity, external party, in particular the customers. Diba? So yun. So customers are external parties. On the other hand, just a mirror image point of view, purchase. So in this one naman, the company is the buyer. And then the company has a transaction with a supplier, which is an external party. Right? So ganun lang class yung basic dito, explanation. Yeah. So other than external events, we have internal events. When we say internal events, hindi naman external party involved. It involves the entity itself and those parties within the business, within the entity. So who are those? Yan, diba? Example dito is ito, production tsaka casualty. So when we say production, anong involved dito? Ay yung production department. Casualty, it involves any department na nagkaroon ng loss due to catastrophes. Okay? Example dito ng mga internal events, ito, conversion of raw materials into finished product. So this is an economic event na nangyari siya sa loob ng business, sa loob ng entity. Walang kasaling external parties. Okay? Class. So yun lang ano. So yung itong mga nandito, I leave this for your readings, no? In the interest of time. Kasi pag i-discuss natin to lahat, mahaba siya. Baka hindi ko matapos yung topics natin. Okay. So, alright. So proceed tayo sa second activity and the definition of accounting, no? Kung babalik tayo kanina sa definition ng accounting, di ba ito yun? Merong important activities included in the definition. So, i-discuss natin is the measuring naman. Okay, measuring. So, when you see measuring, it involves assigning numbers, normally in monetary terms, to the economic transaction and event. So, in Tagalog, ano lang to class, kumbaga, nilalagyan natin ng amount o ng halaga yung transaction. So, example, yung kanina, yung sale sa customer. So when we say measuring, ibig sabihin, magkano yung sale transaction. Yun lang yung measuring class. So there are several measurement bases used in accounting, which include but not limited to the following. So class, pakitake note to there are 6 measurement bases. Una, we have the historical cost, fair value, present value, realizable value, current cost, and sometimes inflation adjusted cost. So there are 5 lang na common, and then merong isa na sometimes ginagamit, inflation adjusted cost. So itong inflation adjusted cost, ginagamit ito kapag yung economic status ng isang lugar, let's say bansa, is nasa hyperinflationary economy. So, yun yung mga situations for us sobrang taas ng presyo ng mga bilihin na lang. I believe it can be it's part of the course, so it will be discussed sa mga susunod na topics, no? Okay? Alright. So, paki-take note ito, no? The most commonly used is the historical cost. Okay? And then, this is combined, usually, with other measurement basis. And then, ito, yun na yan. Accordingly, FS are said to be prepared using a mixture of costs and values. When we say cost, it includes historical costs and current costs, while values include other measurement basis. So, ano lang to class, ano? It's just the way of the author na lang to discuss things. No? Okay, valuation by fact or opinion. Sige, basahin natin. The use of estimates is essential in providing relevant information. Thus, financial statements are said to be a mixture of fact and opinion. Okay? So, ang gusto lang sabihin dito, no, yung mga values or mga figures ng ano natin, ng line items sa financial statements, hindi yun hindi yun mga figures na na hindi naman accurate yung tamang word, pero hindi siya lang yung mga cost. Kumbaga, meron daw mga amounts na estimate lang siya. Hindi siya ano nga word na term that yung opposite ng approximate. Anyway, so proceed natin. Okay. Ito. So when measurement is affected by estimates, the items measured are said to be valued by opinion. So may note ako dito class, nag-note ako dito na I have to elaborate itong sinasabi dito na when measurement is affected by estimates, the items measured are said to be valued by opinion. No? So ano lang ito, no? Hindi naman ibig sabihin na yung mga figures or mga peso value sa financial statements are based on opinion. Hindi naman siya as in yung opinion na alam natin na kung ano lang yung maiisip natin or kung ano yung tingin natin sa isang bagay. Hindi ganun. These opinions are based on facts. Hindi, for example, may mga example tayo dito. Ito, estimates for uncollectible amounts of receivable. And then, idagdag natin, ito, depreciation and amortization expenses, estimated liabilities such as provisions, and then the retained earnings. Itong mga example na to, class, ito yung sinasabi na, ito yung mga example na ang kanyang value is, lang siya, based on opinion, kasi nga estimate siya. So, hindi naman ganun siya, no? For example, dito sa estimates of uncollectible amounts of receivables. Sa receivables kasi class, in a business world, especially kung malaki yung company, natural lang talaga na papautang sa mga customer. As in, yun ng terms ng utang is it may range. Ako, based on experience ko sa trabaho, when I was working in a private company, is minimum dyan, merong 15 days. Kumbaga, mga sale of products. Pinapautang nila yung clients, minimum of 15 days. And then there are mga suki na customers na pinapautang nila hanggang 6 months or minsan may 9 months pa. So, may mga ganun. So, normal yun. Ngayon, it's just through time. May mga customers kasi na hindi sila nakakabayad kaagad. So, yung from 15 days up to 9 months, pwede ang tumagal ng years. So, syempre, si entity, diba, kailangan niyang mag-assume na based on that table or based on that series of accounts receivable from the customers. So, meron tinatawag na aging of accounts receivable. Whereas, merong certain percentage na minumultiply sa amount na ina-assume na yun yung makokolekta. And on the other hand, yung mga hindi makokolekta, di uncollectable na yun. So, ibig sabihin, yun yung mga amounts na hindi siya as is nakalagay. Ini-estimate lang. Yun. So, ito yung mga sinasabing estimates. Opinion siya, in a sense, pero syempre, pero ito hindi ito opinion lang na mga hearsay lang, mga walang masyadong credibility. Okay? Alright, let's proceed. That's it. Okay. Ito. When measurement is unaffected by estimates, the items measured are said to be valued by fact. Ayan. So this one naman, yung mga amounts na makikita natin sa FS natin is based on facts. So example dito, ordinary share capital, valued at par value. Wala pa kayo sa accounting for partnership and corporation, so hindi nyo pa ito masyadong bago ko ito sa inyo. Itong letter B na lang, land stated at acquisition cost. O yan, di ba kapag bibili ng lupa, there's an amount for that, di ba? Na nakalagay sa deed of sale. So yung amount na yun, hindi yun estimates. That's fact. Na talagang yun yung fair value of that land. Itong letter C, itong best example based on facts. Cash measured at face amount. So when we say face amount, is kung magkano yung value. For example, 1,000 peso bill. So that 1,000 peso bill, ang face amount niyan, ang value niyan is 1,000. Kasi yun yung nakalagay sa mismong 1,000 peso bill, yun yung value niya. So yeah. So this letter C example, this is the best example na measured sila based on by fact. Okay. So let's go naman sa last na activity sa definition ng accounting, which is the communicating. So it is the process of transforming economic data into useful accounting information such as FS and other accounting reports for dissemination to users. Okay, it also involves interpreting the significance of the process information. Ayan. So communicating na. So yung communicating class, there are three. This process involves three aspects naman daw: the recording, the classifying, and summarizing. Ano? So communicating na. So kumbaga dun sa process natin sa accounting, andito na to sa tapos na siya sa recording, tapos na rin siya sa, no, I'm sorry, mag-start siya sa recording, hanggang sa i-classify mo siya sa ledger, and then after sa ledger, di ba, punta ka naman sa worksheet, yung sa worksheet, andyan na yung, makikita mo na yung magiging laman ng iyong balance sheet, magiging laman ng income statement, etc. Okay? O yan, first aspect is the recording. So, ayan. So, recording, edi ito na yung, once you identify the transactions as accountable events, edi, yun, i-record mo na siya sa journal natin. Yeah. So, recordings, para na itong journalizing. And we have classifying. And so, sa classifying, after mo ma-record lahat ng transactions, di ba, anong kasunod mong gagawin dyan? Kukunin mo na ngayon yung total amounts of the specific account title. Pag na-record mo na lahat, for example, you have recorded a 1-month transaction. So, ika-classify mo na ngayon, magkano dyan ang cash for that month, magkano yung accounts receivable, magkano yung accounts payable, hanggang sa lahat makuha. Okay, alright. And then we have the summarizing. Ito na to. Asa na siya? Okay. Ito na. Once you're done with the ledger and then the worksheet, the preparation na ng financial statements. All right. Then we go to interpreting naman. So, ayan. Kumbaga kasi dito, class na, based sa definition ng communicating, it also involves interpreting. So, interpreting naman, ang ano mo dito, ang ano mo dito, in terms of process, you're done with the FS, tapos na yung FS. So, the next thing to do is to interpret kung ano yung content ng FS, kung ano yung mga information na pinapakita niya. So, dito, example dito, interpreting involves computation of financial statement ratios. Yan. So, sa senior high nyo, di ba, sa mga nag-ABM, dun sa fundamentals of ABM part 2 ninyo, nandun yung FS analysis. Ayan. So, yun yung tinatawag dito. Interpreting. Okay? Alright. Hanggang muna ako. Okay. So, we're done. with definition of accounting. So class definition pa lang yun na. Okay. Na tayo. Okay, so still this is still learning outcome, learning objective number 1, ano? Basic purpose of accounting. So class, dito, alam niyo bang itong basic purpose of accounting? This is a board exam, favorite board exam question. In basic lang, ano yung basic purpose of accounting, then multiple choices. So this one discuss natin. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng basic? No? If you will look at the dictionary, what you can see na word na familiar is fundamental or primary or elementary. Basic. Okay? Ayan. So ano ba yung basic purpose ng accounting? So paki-highlight na lang, ano? The basic purpose of accounting is to provide information that is useful in making economic decisions. So that's the words, that's the phrase. That's the basic purpose of accounting. To provide information that would be useful in making decisions. What kind of decisions? Economic decisions. Sabihin, decisions that would involve money. Okay? Alright. Yeah. So, iwan ko na sa inyo ito mga class na. This is for your readings na lang. Okay. I don't know kung ilang minuto na ito. We just finished the first learning objective of this chapter. Ang kasunod dito is yung hindi pa pala. Meron pa pala. Sige. After lang nitong mga next pages, I'm gonna cut the video, then upload it sa class, sa YouTube channel ko. Then, you may also want to subscribe class na. Sige. Okay, proceed ako. And so types of information provided by accounting. So basically, class, there are only two now. Quantitative and qualitative. Sige, basahin natin. First information is the quantitative information. Balik tayo, ha. Ayan na. To provide information. So yung mga information yan, it could be quantitative, it could be qualitative, it could be financial. Pero number one talaga dyan, class, what accounting provides is quantitative information. Kasi nga, di ba, when you see the Cfas, anong makikita mo doon? A lot of figures, a lot of numbers. Okay? Alright, so sige, basahin natin. When we say quantitative information, it involves is information expressed in numbers, quantities or units. And we say qualitative naman, so these are information expressed in words or descriptive form. So normally, makikita mo itong mga qualitative information dun sa notes to financial statements. Okay? And then lastly, the financial information. And information expressed in money. And then financial information is also quantitative information. Ayan. Okay, so types of accounting information. Ayan, so other than information being quantitative or qualitative, meron din tayong information naman according to the needs of the users. So we have two here, the general purpose and the special purpose. Okay? Basahin natin. The general purpose accounting information, this is designed to meet the common needs of most statement users. Okay. This information is provided under financial accounting. So general purpose information is governed by GAAP. Ayan. So guys, ganito na. General purpose siya kasi kahit pa anong nature ng business, kahit pa anong industry ng business, pag sinabi natin complete set of financial statements ng mga private entities, what are those? We have the balance sheet or the statement of financial position. We have the income statement or the statement of profit or loss. Then we have the statement of other comprehensive income. So yung class, yung income statement or yung statement of profit or loss or other comprehensive income, isa lang yun actually. It just depends on the entity kung ano ang prefer niyang gamitin. Sa chess, sir? Sige, sir. Okay po, okay po. Nag-record po ako ng klase. Sige, sir, thank you po. Sige po. Okay, class. Sorry for the interruption. Ayan na. So right now, I'm in my office dito sa audit. Okay, proceed tayo. Saan tayo natapos? Ayun. As I was saying, class, general purpose siya kasi whatever industry or nature of business the entity is included, pare-pareho yan. Pare-pareho yung complete set of financial statements. They have the balance sheet, they have the income statement, they have the cash flow statements, they have the statement of changes in equity, and then lastly, they have notes to financial statements. So I'm sure this is not new to you, no? There are 5 sets of financial statements, 5 yan. So yung 5 yun yung sinasabi natin for general purpose FS. Okay? How about, and then basically class, yung 5 yun, dito siya dito siya na-discuss sa financial accounting. For sure, na-discuss na rin sa inyo before yung mga branches of accounting, all of the specialization under the umbrella of accounting. So financial accounting is one of them, in which those complete set of FS is dito siya na-discuss financial accounting. Okay, so that's general purpose FS for you. How about special purpose accounting information? So as opposed to the general purpose or the common needs, ito namang special purpose is designed to meet the specific needs of users. So ano yun? Ano yung mga common example? This information is provided by other types of accounting other than financial accounting. So we have here the managerial accounting, tax basis accounting. So ito naman yung other subjects under the other specialization under the umbrella of accounting na dinid na di-discuss. So sino ang mga users ng mga to? So when we say managerial accounting, so the user here is the management of the entity. Pag naman tax basis accounting, ang user natin dito, normally it is the other business, yung mga client. Included din dito yung not the management na, pero yung mismong the business itself, no? Kumbaga ang involved dito yung mga preparation of tax returns, submission of income tax returns to the BIR. Okay, guys? So that's the accounting information classified according to the needs of the users. Okay. Sources of information in financial statements. So saan daw ba nanggagaling yung mga information sa financial statements? Of course, they are not obtained exclusively from the entity's accounting records. Of course, no. Hindi mo naman lahat makukuha yung I mean lahat ng figures or information na makikita mo sa FS, hindi yan galing sa accounting records lang. Of course, some of them or many of them came from external sources. So there are examples here for your readings. Ano na yan? Ano lang naman to class, no? I just wants to say na the sources of accounting of information in financial statements is marami siyang sources. It could be the inside the company, outside the company. It could be internal and external. Right. So we have another definition here of accounting. As I was saying in the beginning of this video, I'm just gonna leave that for your readings class now. Okay, all right. So we're done with the first learning objective. And the first learning objective is define accounting and state its basic purpose. Ayan. So I don't know how long it would take now, but I'm gonna cut that muna, and then after that, I'm gonna proceed to the second learning objective, which starts from this one. Okay, so for now, yun muna. I hope you all watch this video.